It's the operating room in the southern section. But on this table is... There's a corpse. Its head is missing just like the others. A headless corpse is lying there. Headless corpse. It's the rusted file cabinet. The door is locked. Do I have anything? Can I shoot it? No. A headless corpse is lying on top of the operating table. Oop, the head. Should I try attaching the head? Why not? I try attaching the human head. The human head fits the severed neck perfectly. The world suddenly distorts. A horrific scene appears before my eyes. This is the woman on the operating table? Some kind of experiment is being performed on her. I must be seeing the past. The sound triggers a change in views. Men in lab coats holding surgical tools, but they don't look like they're alive. The ghosts of the researchers seem to be stuck forever in the nightmare of the past. I can hear the men whisper from my left side. Hey, she's awake. Don't worry, she'll be dead soon anyway. True enough. Then something else interrupts. You. This time, it's a cold whisper from my right. You can hear me, can't you? Don't be afraid, soon. The voice on my right cuts off and I can hear the men in the lab coats again. Live or die? Hey woman, which of these tools do you want us to use to cut your neck? This isn't it for you, so we'll let you decide. This is it for you. Good answer, you're pretty smart. Unfortunately, you'll soon be saying goodbye to that clever head of yours. It's valuable material, we'll cut it off nicely. Shut up, you're just like a pig. This is why I hate handling women. Be patient, we finally found a clue. Not yet, wait. Now give you power. The whisper from my right falls silent. Yeah, I never dreamed breaking from our usual method would go so well. Hey pig, do you understand? Do you know the correct combination of head and body for the heavenly Buddha? Precisely, and that's why we need your head. Gladly offered up for the sake of our beloved country. Well, I don't want to. The problem is the soul freshness. Regardless of refrigeration, it's all up to the quality of the cut. But there are also only so many available methods. This is still an experiment we have. Then to the freezer. A voice on the left cut out. A determined voice echoes in my right ear. Hate, 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 hate this whole world. Tear it to pieces. The power to do that, I'll give it all to you, in the place where you hear me now. Hate them, destroy them, understand? Yes? I think I understand. Good. Destroy them. When I return to my senses, I'm standing beside the operating table. Just then, something slides out of the hand of the corpse on the table. That small key. What I just saw. More importantly, the voice that kept speaking from the right side. Who was that? You don't look so well. Did you see something? Yeah, actually. I explained to Damon what I saw. Your itches. A horrible tragedy happened here in the past. It's possible that whatever triggered it might have been whoever the voice belonged to. I think that's fascinating, I do, but what does that have to do with the mark? Well, I'm not sure about that part, but Damon's right. This isn't helping us accomplish our goal. We need to search for whatever gave birth to the spirit. Let's keep looking. Oh, that small key I just found might belong to the cabinet here. I turn my attention to the mark on my wrist. It isn't coming yet. I glance over at Damon, but they don't seem to be acting differently at all. That should be slowly closing in on us, but it seems like we still have some time. What's important right now is making sure we survive. Inside is an old gun and some research records. Suddenly, berserk, severe damage, sutured chanting, complete insanity. Only those who made themselves deaf remain sane. Half spiritualized, like disposal that needs sacred object, attack. Destroy human head. The heart of all this. Need to destroy human head. That's all it says. Got gun with blanks, research records 3. The door is stained with blood. Upon color, its countless handprints. The keyhole is perfectly fine. I could open it if I had the key. Inside the room are a number of Buddha statues. They're all missing their heads. It seems this is where they stored all the various statues they gathered through theft or donation. This room certainly seems haunted. It might have been what we're looking for, where the curse or spirit originated. I brace myself for input from the other me. But it doesn't seem like that's happening. Does that mean I should already know? It's a statue that looks like a divine general. It has armor from a Tang dynasty. Vajra. Oh. It's a Viscerian statue. It's missing its head. The statue with its head cut off. It seems to be holding some kind of Buddhist ritual implement. The statue with its head cut off. It's lying pitifully on the floor. I search all the statues. Every statue here has a male body. Suddenly there's a sound of movement from within the box. I managed to open the box. Sheets of white paper are inside. They seem to be a multitude of talismans. There's something sealed here. Damon peers into the box beside me. Is anything in there? Well... My voice sounds distant. The cause of the curse, what birthed the spirit. There's nothing like that here. No, there's nothing here. Nothing. That's not true. What's that in your hand, then? Damon is right. It's not true that there's nothing inside. There's one thing. I never would have expected something like this, something that doesn't belong here. A box sealed by talismans has enshrined a Western-style cushion. Right then. Damon sighs, disappointed. Unfortunately, it looks like we failed. I doubt a thing like this could give birth to a spirit. True. But the state of this room and the voices. Something important was definitely sealed up in this place at one point. Yet there's nothing here. And the thing we're searching for. Where the hell did it go? A long silence falls between us. It is then that now familiar pain flares up. Bart was at. Minutes away. Ugh. What's going on? Is death closing in on us all of a sudden? No, it's... The spirit is here. A low suture chant hum trembles in the air. It feels like my whole body is numb. It may be because of that hum. Oh dear. Okay. Cade loses consciousness. Cade shoots the gun with blanks. I grab the gun, but I can't control my hand. It turns the gun towards my head and fires. The blank explodes. My consciousness fades. There's a strong ringing in my ears, and it's preventing me from hearing the suture chant. Daemon is clutching their head like they can't hear anything either. The numbness has faded. Daemon shakes the bell. Nothing happens. The Kruger cell bell flies into the air. I get the feeling that we're not using it right. Kannon soldier yells, making my heart clench. Hi. You're definitely kind of creepy looking, buddy. Lady. Mix of it mix. Numbness has faded. Hero shakes the Kagura Suzubo. Nothing happens. The spirit fades and becomes intangible. Cade shoots the ranged short sword's blade. Kannon soldier is wounded. The spirit fades and becomes intangible. Hero shakes the Kugura Suzu bell. Kannon soldier is wounded. The spirit turns solid again. Cade slashes the rusted arm with the sword. Kannon soldier is wounded. The spirit fades and becomes intangible. Shakes the bell. Kannon soldier is wounded. The spirit stops. I guess the attack finally worked. Out of nowhere, footsteps approach behind me. A voice yells comically, and whatever it is puts their hand on my back, but I can't take my eyes off the spirit for me. Banshay, is that you? What are you doing? Instead of replying, he shoves something into my hand. It's a large chisel with a grip. This is... I found it in that room in the mansion. In that instant, I understand everything. The heart of the curse that we were searching for, the object that gave birth to the spirit. So it was kept in Kujo Mansion. Thanks, I'm going to use it. I grabbed the chisel and faced the spirit. Kannon soldier is weakened. Large chisel. Cade swings the chisel down on the soldier. Right here. I jab the chisel at its right ear. It stares at me dispassionately. Finally, it smiles and disappears. Okay, I'm out of blueberries. We're good. The statue stops moving and collapses. It stopped, right? Seems so. I don't got the mark anymore, so there's no doubt about it. Once again, I'm the only one still cursed. Glad I made it in the nick of time. If my legs weren't in such good shape, it would have been over for us. Thanks for saving us, but you know that was pretty reckless. I thought I said it's dangerous for a group of mark bearers to go somewhere haunted. Ah, yeah, you did mention something like that when I was eating. Completely slipped my mind. Tell us, old man. What happened at the mansion? I'm not quite sure myself, but I'll tell you what I know. After you left, I wandered the place looking for something to eat. My mark hurt like hell right by a room. I slipped inside and found a bunch of chisels and things. He must mean that room I found. I was kind of out of it because of the mark at that point, but I noticed one of the chisels was glowing all weird with the dark light. I knew it right away that it was hiding some awesome spiritual power. What made you decide that you had to bring the chisel here? You seemed sure it'd be effective against the Kannon soldier. I heard a voice when I picked it up. It reminded me of the lady, sorta. It said, to bring the chisel to you. And that's when it hit me. It was what I'd been looking for. Oh, that thing you mentioned in the car. The heart of the curse that created the spirit. Exactly that. So I hoofed it over here to give it to you. When I looked through that room before, Yasuoka said that the Kujo family used to create Buddha statues a long time ago. It's possible that chisel we used to create the statue that became the Kannon soldier. I don't know what the voice was that he heard. Probably something like the mysterious voice that guided me before. You know, I haven't heard it in a while. And that's what happened. So we headed back to the mansion then? So we heading back to the mansion then, Kate? For one, I'm hungry, but I bet Damon's worried too. I left without saying a word after all. Yeah. Searching for documents on the mark, carting all the statues out. It'll take more than a day to do all that. We should go back to the mansion and figure out what to do next. What? We're leaving already? I wanted to examine this place. I glanced at the statue falling to the floor. Sorry, but you'll have to do that another time. Fine. In exchange, not one word about this shelter to anyone else. I'm going to study every inch of it. Yeah, okay. Hey, now, this is my home. Can't have you rooting around here. That's just you saying that you don't legally live here. I'll bring you food, so stop complaining. Much obliged. Okay. We return to the concrete passageway. I might be imagining it, but it feels like the air in here is a little less stagnant than it was before. We climb up out of the manhole in M. South Alley. Damon runs up to us, drenched in sweat. He looks even worse than usual. He probably shouldn't have run. I found you. Hey, old man. Why did you suddenly sprint out the mansion? I'm gonna go see again. Makes an accent. My mark is gone now, too. What in the world happened? I had something to give Cade. Isn't that right, hero? I guess. I'd rather not think of the consequence if you hadn't made it in time. I'm not sure I follow, but it seems he really helped you out. Well then, if I must do my investigation another day, are we splitting ways here? Our marks are gone now. Cade still has his, though. This always happens, I'm used to it. But now I might be able to change that. I finally discovered where the statues stolen from H Shrine are. I'm lost, but I'm glad for you. It's thanks to all of you. I'll figure out the rest by myself. You should all return to your regular lives. You're saying we should split up then? You sure you'll be okay? Something will work out eventually. Besides, this is Seikujo's dying wish. I want to respect it. Well, thanks. I'll head back then. I've been missing all those chemical smells from the lab. Good to hear your research is exciting. But don't forsake your humanity over it and end up like Miss Zoo. Like I do that. It's not even funny, by the way. Oh yeah, Mr. Cade. Whenever you want to get those statues, I'll help out. Until then, see you. Okay. I'll be off as well. Honestly, all this has put a strain on me. I'm barely staying upright. Whatever you do, don't collapse on your way home, please. Hey, Cade. One day I'm hoping to let the public know about the underground shelter. For the sake of the wandering souls without a proper burial. I'd like it if you helped with that. See you around. Guess I'll go too. You're not returning to the shelter, are you? I'm not that brave. The soldier's gone, but there's plenty of other things down there. I'll give it a few days to settle. So you're still planning on going back? I'm not sure I'd call that a smart move. Comes with comes with living this kind of life. I'll bunker down in a park or under a bridge until things calm down. See you, Cade. Bring more food next time, yeah? Okay. The former mark bearers have all left. I should probably head to the mansion myself. I've got to decide what to do next. I hear a voice calling from behind me. I turn to see Banshee in the middle of the road, staring intently at me. What's wrong? I remember now. His eyes are wide as saucers. I forgot because of the mark, but I've met you before. What? What do you mean? Well, let me think. He scratches his chin. I know his memories are probably all a mess having just gotten them back, but I don't have time to wait for him. Ah, yes. We first met 5 years ago, and then again 10 days ago. I feel like I've been struck by lightning. I first arrived at Cujo's mansion 10 days ago. That means I met him before I lost my memories. I need to know, who in the world am I? I couldn't say. I wasn't interested in asking you your name, and you didn't give it. Then tell me what you do know. Tell me about myself, please. Okay. I owe you for the food, so ask. What should I ask him? 5 years ago. You showed up at the shelter. Wanted to know about the Heavenly Buddha Project. Gave me food. Actually, you were more focused on the Cujo family than the Kannon soldier. Why did we talk about them? The head at the time was majorly involved in the project. He was famous for his spiritual power, so the army asked him to help. He loaned them a number of his family prized sacred treasures. You really zeroed in on that bit. Do you know what exactly the army got? Yeah, the shelter had a list. A mirror, a chisel of Buddha statues, cursed objects and holy talismans. They were all returned to the family. Which means they're all in the mansion now. You kept popping by a few times until one day you just didn't. I only saw you next 10 days ago. Next is 10 days ago. I just seen the Kannon soldier and you can bet I booked it out of the manhole. I ran into you on the street. How'd you treat me to food to celebrate? Thanks for that, by the way. Banshee's talking about the person I was before I lost my memories. It's weird to hear about myself this way. You'd mentioned you'd been overseas. You'd only come back recently, about a month ago. Oh, and that's when I learned of the mark. You told me about it. It slipped my mind until just now. By that time, my right arm. Yeah, it had the mark. You were acting all odd, though. You'd go to remember something and stumble over the words. The curse was probably in the late stages. In fact, I'd completely forgotten my name, and it passed a few hours after that. By the by, I've got something to tell you. This here Banshee, Itao, is as much nobler character than regular folk. That's why I led a detached life, away from the world's vulgarities. What are you trying to say? I could be crazy desperate, but I'd never shame my dear departed mama or divine providence. You understand? No, you lost me. I'm saying I'd never resort to stealing, even dying of hunger. Here, these are yours. He pulls out a wristwatch and a wallet. Each looks like an antique. They're inlaid with subtle design. You forgot them at the restaurant. Let me see them. I grab them both and rush to open the wallet. But there's no ID inside. There was no driver's license or company car with an ID in it. When you got it? Don't ask me. You said you forgot your old wallet somewhere and I lost it. It was probably in there. Oh. I look at what else is in the wallet. Bills, coins, and a number of familiar business cards. Say a Cujo spirit healer? Ah, those things. You tried to give me one. Told me to go there if I remembered anything. But I gave it back. I don't make a habit of carrying useless stuff. Say Cujo's card was in my pocket when I first arrived at Cujo's mansion. It must have been the one Banshee returned. There's no doubt about it. I lost all my memories after I met Banshee. I've asked everything I want to know, but something's still bugging me. Did I say anything about the mark when you saw me 10 days ago? Well, I was so focused on eating that I wasn't paying full attention. Are you kidding? Oh, yeah, you said the same thing as Hero about the Kannon soldier. There's no way a human head on a statue will make it move. But it did actually move. That's what I thought, too. And then, you said something strange. You said what happened 50 years ago wasn't because of the project. It was all because of her. Her. That's not all. Dramatic. You said she gave you the mark. That she loved watching you lose your memories and feared death. You made her kick the bucket once, but she came back to life. You said you needed to do the same thing done 50 years ago to get rid of her. My heart wants to beat out of my chest. I can feel sweat run down my face. There's no way I can keep calm. Before I lost my memories, I'd known who had cursed me with the mark. Hey, old man. Who's she? Did I tell you? I want to know, too, so I asked. But you couldn't answer me. I don't think you were trying to hide it. You just honestly didn't remember. Was that because of the mark? Well, that's about all I can tell you. Gade, we should get going soon. Go? Where? I'll tell you in your car. I'm real tired of standing. I'd like to sit for a bit. There's no point arguing here. I'll just get it out of him once we're in the car. Buttons! Actually, hold on. Nope. Buttons. Remember your buttons. Nope. Hate. She hates them. Special power was put on the Azura statue. The Kannon soldier awoke either a curse or a grudge triggering its birth. It must be a spiritual being of some kind. That means it needed an object to power. Box. Out of place cushion. It was only a Western style cushion that's depressing. It's the heart of the grudge. How to face the soldier. What we gathered up to now. Calm your face, man. Forget what we're missing and take stock of what we have. If we want to use the saber or short sword, we'll have to throw them. If the spirit is in the belly, it's like the spirit door, then the Kugri Suitsville will be helpful, and the blanks will mess up our ears if we shoot them. But one document mentioned must destroy head. I'm not sure about this, but I can give it up. Until she gave it to me. Alright. Alright. Nope, the mansion's out of the way. Manche clambers into the back seat of the car. His heavy scent fills the enclosed space. I could finally catch my breath. Now then, driver, take us to the forest by H Castle. Okie-dokie, sir. I drive down the familiar road. All lights along the way are strangely green. We reached our destination without me having to slow down the car once. The engine chugs along. I feel the wheels of fate turning, like those of the car I'm riding in. We're getting closer to the end. 10 days ago, I promised, in exchange for you buying me an extra order of almond jelly. If you did forget everything, I'd take you to H Shrine. Sounds like I prepared for everything, but if I was that careful, why didn't I leave myself a clue? Why prepare if I was just going to forget? Did the curse progress faster than expected so there wasn't time? Or did someone get rid of it? But if I had the business at a shrine, why didn't I go there while I still had my memories? Something about timing. Waiting for some magic summer cleaning to clear away impurity. Suddenly, my old self echoes in my head. I speak the words out loud slowly. A realization dawns on me. The summer purification rites. They're rites held at the shrine to exorcise evil. On the last day of June, you pass through woven reeds to cleanse yourself. I was trying to use that ritual to exorcise the impurity. Ah, gotcha. Luckily, today is the 1st of July, so the rites or whatever are done. Should be no problem now. Exorcise the impurity, huh? What kind of impurity was I trying to cleanse? The more I learn, the less I understand. My previous self is like a complete stranger to me. How many times have I come to this forest now? The creepy arch and thick trees look the same as always. You know where H Shrine is, yeah? Lead the way. You never been here? First I heard it was 10 days ago.